we are at Enterprise Connect 2019. I'm joined by Alan at the Vonage booth. How are you finding everything?
Well, we're doing great. It's very, very busy, but it's busy because of good things going on. There's a lot of really cool things happening for Vonage. We're actually making two announcements this week. One is about new functionality that we refer to as phone number programmability, which is the ability, we've talked about in the past, we're built from a common stack. We refer to it as one Vonage. The stack itself is an API platform, a communications API platform. We sell those APIs separately to developers who program them in elsewhere, and we build our major applications in the UC and now CC contact center space from the same. One of those new microservice capabilities is phone number programmability. So what that's done is now in our core product, Vonage Business Cloud, every phone number now becomes programmable. So you have all sorts of levels of flexibility that you wouldn't otherwise have. So for instance, we had a customer recently that they were a security company, and they had to take every conversation and they had to record it and split it and put it into separate CRMs concurrently.
Okay, right.
That's a very difficult thing to do, but with these APIs, it's done sort of in a jiffy. Other examples, companies who have whistleblower requirements. It means a lot of public companies like ourselves, you have to create a phone number where employees or customers could call in to report challenges. Well, the key thing about that, if it's a whistleblower line, is anonymity. Because if you're known in a caller ID, what's the whole purpose of having?
Absolutely, it defeats the whole point.
That's exactly right. But now using this phone number programmability, we can mask the number using what we call the proxy number use case, and in 3 lines of code, you have that functionality. So it's the core level of call proc and contact center functionality with all the flexibility that comes from the phone number itself being fully programmable. So that's the first big announcement we made.
Just before you go on to the second one, what's that development grown out of? Is that requests from customers? How do you work on that process?
It is a function of what naturally comes out of the way that we've architected the platform, the One Vonage platform. And so there are examples of, another example, we found that customers, we could see that customers, when we owned the phone number, had all sorts of text message attempts into the phone number.
Into a number that wasn't compatible to take.
Correct. So it was a landline number, but yet somebody was trying to text it. Well, that was because in order for there to be a textable number, that number would have to be a mobile number. Now that every number is fully programmable, we now have a feature called Business Inbox where, think about it, we can go back and say, hey, 200 times customers or somebody tried to reach you, but you had no mechanism to answer because they were texting into a non-textable number. We can see it as an undelivered text. They couldn't see it because it was a landline phone number. Now that the phone number is programmable, you can have full access to it. And so what happens is a user, in the old worlds of telecommunications, we might have separate phone number identities. So I might have a number you could text me at, a mobile number. I might have a fax number. I might have my direct dial number. Now with a single number, the customer can decide the mode of communication by which he or she wants to contact me. So he could e-fax me at that number, he could text me at that number, he could call me at that number, he could reach me through through a social site, like a Facebook page at that number. The whole idea is all the number is an identifier that it's me. Since all the modes of communications are normalized by IP, we can now bring those together, and the customer can decide how they want to communicate with you.
So that was something you were able to develop out of your own insight from the way the platform's built.
That's correct. And so that's one big
piece of news, and you've got more as well.
Correct. The second is we just announced what we call CX Cloud Express, which is the integration of contact center, our own contact center, which came about through the New Voice Media acquisition, which we only did the end of October.
Yeah, it was only at the end of last year, wasn't it?
That's right. Already now integrated, going live this week into Vonage Business Cloud, targeting the mid-market. So frequently in the past, some of the mid-market was sort of overserved by more enterprise-oriented solutions. We've then taken New Voice Media and we've, in a sense, think of it as sort of a light version, fully integrated with the UC solution, Vonage Business Cloud, done it in only now 4 months. We just closed in that company at the end of October. It goes back to the platform, the way in which it's built in a modern architecture lets you innovate in ways that old types of architecture you'd never be able to do. So now we have a mid-market solution, an integrated, unified communication, contact center solution targeting the mid-market that heretofore have been served by contact center solutions that were heavier weight, required a lot of professional services and such, that really weren't well suited to mid-market. So I think we found sort of another niche in the market, but we can innovate so quickly because of the way in which we're architected. Those are two big advancements we've made this week, and what we're finding is, again, going back to the fact of having a modern architecture, microservices architected, sitting on a public cloud, we can innovate so quickly. So we're really excited about, the things that we've announced this week in product, but the things that are kind of in the hopper that I know are coming that will GA later this year that, you ain't seen nothing yet because it's really going to be exciting.
Well, I really look forward to the future announcements, but also I want to just to finally ask you, in general, how excited are you now about the holistic platform you're able to offer? And you talked about the acquisition of New Voice and how quickly you've integrated that, but also Nexmo.
Right.
You've done that very quickly, and now that holistic platform is a real strength in the market, isn't it?
So what we have assembled uniquely, so simple answer, I'm thrilled about what we've assembled, because within the broader cloud communication space, you've generally had point solutions who do either unified communications or contact center or separate programmable stacks. We're the only one that has all three. The purpose of bringing it together is because at the end of the day, the success of the cloud communications market is not just about modernizing somebody's infrastructure, moving the premise-based to cloud. Of course we all do that, you have to do that. Moving premise-based PBX and enterprise communications to the cloud, moving premise-based contact center to the cloud, of course we do that. But the view is it's necessary but insufficient. Where this is going is how you can drive the businesses end-to-end engagement with its customers. And so that all has to do with how you can connect how they communicate with their customers outbound or inbound, so outbound marketing, inbound support, in with the employee-based tools, which heretofore have been UC-based, and quite frankly the contact center. Those are tools used by the employees. And then seamlessly integrate those two communication streams, customer-based, employee-based, into all the other workflow tools that businesses use. Think CRM, productivity, and the like. If you can create that end-to-end, that's what drives better customer engagement.
The real value.
Business, exactly right. So it's not just modernizing infrastructure. It's a necessary component of doing it, but it's how you use all three to drive together a better end-to-end engagement for the downstream customer. For our, we're a B2B customer, but we're doing this really on behalf of B2B to C. That's exactly right.